The world I live in is a book, and I am the protagonist of this world. My heroine is called Kelly, and she has a childhood sweetheart, a male supporting role, who has been trying to pursue her. We were about to get married, but a mechanical voice suddenly popped up in my mind. System prompt. The heroine is modifying the storyline, wanting to have her cake and eat it too. But I am the male lead. I think whoever is the female lead is the real female lead. The story is about to begin. If you like it, remember to like and follow. Hello, is this Mr. Andy? We are in the emergency room of the First People's Hospital of Yunqing. Your fiancée, Miss Kelly, was in a traffic accident and is being treated now. Could you please come over here? After answering the call, I picked up my car keys and rushed to the hospital. But when I arrived at the hospital, I found two people lying in the ward. One was my fiancée Kelly, and the other was her childhood sweetheart Gavin. On the way here, I received a call from the police. It was clearly Kelly who drove the car and hit the tree alone, so how did Gavin get involved? It wasn't until Kelly's primary care physician came over that I understood what was going on. Kelly's injuries were obviously not serious, but Gavin insisted on giving her a kidney transplant, giving her his good kidney. Although Kelly's kidneys have not been in good condition in recent years, it is far from the point where she needs a kidney transplant. I sat beside Kelly's bed and looked at her thoughtfully. After an unknown amount of time, Kelly woke up from the anesthesia. The first thing she asked me when she opened her eyes was, "Where's Gavin? How's Gavin?" I ignored her question and called the doctor directly. After all, Kelly's health is the most important thing now. But when Kelly turned around and saw Gavin lying next to her, she became crazy and wanted to get out of bed to see him. I quickly reached out to stop her, but Kelly looked at her as if she was an enemy. "Andy, can you not be so selfish? Gavin donated a kidney to save me. Can't I go see him now?" The doctor clearly said that Kelly would recover if she took medicine for another 2 years, but now, Gavin has replaced her kidney with hers, and she has to take anti-rejection medicine from now on. I suppressed my anger and replied in a low voice, "You just had surgery and your body is still weak. Don't move." But Kelly pushed me away with all her strength and crawled to Gavin's bedside with difficulty. Gavin, wake up, why are you so stupid?" Just as Kelly was holding Gavin's hand and crying affectionately, a mechanical voice sounded in my mind. "Host, the system has detected that the heroine's heart has changed. Do you need to change the heroine?" I shook my head calmly. After all, I had been with Kelly for 3 years and I wanted to give her another chance. The doctor who arrived gave Kelly a full-body examination and concluded that Kelly had recovered well after the operation. But the situation for Gavin nearby was not so optimistic. He already had poor health and now he has lost a kidney. He will have to be confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life and rely on others for care. So when Kelly heard what the doctor said, she no longer concealed her feelings and hugged Gavin, who was still in a coma. After hugging for a long time, she realized that I was still beside her. Then she raised her head and looked at me with tears in her eyes. "Andy, can our wedding be postponed? I want to take good care of Gavin during this period. After all, he became like this because of me." Postpone the wedding? I couldn't believe my ears. Just think about how many connections and resources I used in Yunqing for this wedding. All the prominent figures in society have received my wedding invitations. Now that it's being postponed, where can I put my face? My face gradually darkened. "Kelly, marriage is not a joke. I will send someone to take good care of Gavin." "Andy, can you stop being so chauvinistic? I have my own ideas too. I just want to take care of my savior myself, is that not okay?" Kelly and I parted on bad terms. After all, she had just had a major surgery and I didn't want to argue with her. Besides, the wedding is only 3 months away and I still have a lot of things to prepare. What I didn't expect was that after Kelly was discharged from the hospital, she did not go home but moved to our beachfront villa. What's even more incredible is that Kelly brought Gavin along as well. Even the day originally agreed upon for trying on wedding dresses was missed by Kelly. She said, "I'm not feeling well. Let's do it another day." But the assistant told me that Kelly has recovered well recently and her complexion has become much rosier. I thought it was the assistant's mistake, so I went to the villa to find out for myself. As soon as I opened the door, I saw Kelly pushing Gavin in a wheelchair in the yard to bask in the sun. They were talking and laughing, and looked very happy. Seeing such a dazzling scene, I frowned. Aren't there servants in the villa? Do you have to push him yourself when you are not in good health? The moment the two saw me, the smiles on their faces disappeared. Kelly's expression showed a hint of impatience, and her tone was not very good. So you think I'm lying to you? Are you here to accuse me? Before I could say anything, Gavin on the side took Kelly's hand and scolded her lovingly. Kelly, how can you talk to Boss Andy like that? Don't let your feelings be hurt because of me, or I'll feel bad. Hearing Gavin say this, Kelly's eyes softened a lot. I used to only know about female green tea, but now I realize that male green tea is the real green tea. Gavin, don't be so humble, we are only living here temporarily. Besides, this villa was originally under my name. Kelly, you're so nice to me. I was tired of their flirting and sympathizing with each other. Kelly, I'm going to ask you one last time, are you going to get married or not? We will definitely be together in the end. Why are you in such a hurry? I said I wanted to take care of Gavin first. Can't I wait for Gavin to get better and lead me to the church personally? I know Kelly has also awakened the system, so she is fearless and thinks that she is the heroine and that the heroine will definitely marry the hero in the end. I held back my anger and said, so you won't be attending the wedding in 3 months? Kelly also got angry and took Gavin's hand in front of me. No. I said I want Gavin to personally lead me into the church. At this time, the system's voice came into my mind again. Host, the system reminds you again that the heroine's heart has leaned towards the male supporting role. Do you need to change the heroine? I pondered for a moment and said calmly, okay, don't regret it. The next second, the system's prompt sounded, ding, congratulations to the host for successfully changing the heroine. Please determine the new heroine as soon as possible. After the female lead was changed, when I looked at Kelly again, I just felt strange and the feelings I had in the past were no longer there. After leaving the villa, I informed my assistant and took back the villa. In addition, I will take back all the investments and privileges I gave to Kelly's family. Kelly thought I was forcing her to get married, so she simply moved out of the villa with Gavin to express her protest. But without my capital injection, Kelly's company would not be able to operate. Not long after, Kelly's father called and said, my dear son-in-law, I heard from the finance department that you have withdrawn your investment. Is there any misunderstanding? Kelly's father, Kelly and I are not planning to get married for the time being. That money was originally my betrothal gift to Kelly. Now that we are not getting married, I will naturally take it back. I finished speaking calmly, and Kelly's father on the other end of the phone was furious. What? Did Kelly do something wrong? This girl is just stubborn. It's all my fault for not educating her well. My dear son-in-law, please don't act impulsively. Our Kelly loves you the most, and I will definitely let her marry you. Kelly's dad, you can't force feelings. Kelly has her own choice. You don't have to force her. What's the point of choosing or not choosing? It's all because Gavin, this clingy guy, kept pestering her. Kelly was just naive and was deceived by him. I'm going to find her now. After saying that, Kelly's father hung up the phone angrily. But I don't care about all this anymore. Kelly is not my heroine anymore, so who she is with is none of my business. The next day, Kelly showed up downstairs of my company with a resentful look on her face. I ignored her and walked around her to go straight into the company. But Kelly suddenly rushed over and accused me in front of everyone. Andy, I didn't expect you to be this kind of person. Why did you involve Gavin in our matter? And you even told my dad that it was Gavin who ruined us? You clearly knew that Gavin was in poor health, aren't you trying to kill him? I'm telling you, there's no way I'm going to marry you now unless you go and apologize to Gavin in person, otherwise I really... Are you done? You can leave now. I interrupted Kelly with an expressionless face and walked into the company. Kelly behind me was stunned for a moment, and then she shouted at my back, Andy, don't think you can make me compromise by provoking me like this, I won't let you succeed. You don't let me get close to Gavin, but I insist on being with Gavin. Don't regret it. Soon I saw what Kelly posted on WeChat Moments. Childhood sweethearts should be with their childhood sweethearts. The accompanying picture shows Kelly pushing Gavin to watch the sunset at the beach, which is a very romantic and beautiful scene. She thought this would stimulate me, but I just passed by without staying for even a second. I don't think it's necessary to delete her. Why waste time on someone who is unimportant? The wedding is less than 3 months away, so I have to speed up and find a new hostess. As the company's anniversary is next week, shareholders have been suggesting holding a grand party. In the past, I disdained attending such events because I felt that businessmen were all hypocritical. But after going through so many things, I suddenly feel that being a businessman is pretty good. At least the one thing that will never change is profit. I asked my assistant to spread the word that I was looking for a suitable female companion to attend the anniversary party. As soon as the news came out, all the celebrities couldn't sit still. After all, I am a popular guy in Yunqing. I am young, handsome, and rich. With a nearly perfect life resume like mine, I shouldn't be held back by a woman like Kelly. I don't know how Kelly got to know my news of looking for a female companion, and she even sent me a message: "I will come back if you admit your mistake. After all, we will be together in the future." I only regard Gavin as a brother. I almost laughed when I saw the message. They were officially announcing that they were together before, and now they say they treat the other person as their brother. I wonder what Gavin would think when he sees this. Kelly didn't wait for my reply all night, and sent me another message in the morning: "Andy, you are so cruel. I wonder how long you can endure it. I will bring Gavin to the anniversary celebration." She also wanted to use Gavin to provoke me and threaten me into compromise. But I have automatically ignored her. The only thing that bothers me now is who should I choose as my female companion? Just when she was worried, the old house called and said that Linda's father and his family had returned from abroad. Linda's father is my father's best friend. His family moved abroad a few years ago and haven't been back for a long time. I got off work early and bought a lot of gifts and brought them back to my old house. When I got back, Linda's father and his family had arrived. In addition to Linda's father and his wife, there was also a very beautiful woman. "Haven't seen you for a long time." Before I could remember who the woman was, she had already walked up to me in her high heels. "Are you Linda?" The next second Linda playfully took my arm and said, "Yes, brother Andy, you won't forget me, will you?" To be honest, it is really hard for me to associate the gentle and lovely beauty in front of me with the little crybaby Linda in her childhood. At the dinner table, the elders were chatting, and Linda and I were whispering. I didn't expect that Linda now shares so many common hobbies with me. She also likes horse racing and golf. Kelly used to look down on these sports, saying they were only for old men. Over time, I stopped playing these sports to accommodate Kelly. The more we talked, the more excited I became. I even asked Linda directly, "Linda, can you be my date at my company's anniversary party next week?" Linda agreed without even thinking about it. We had a very comfortable meal, and no one mentioned Kelly's name tacitly. Before, because of Kelly, my relationship with Lao Jai was not very good. Now, they have heard some news about Kelly and I, so they are quite happy. Linda also knew her limits. She must have investigated me before she came. Otherwise you wouldn't know so many of my interests and hobbies. Since she took the initiative to contact me, it means she doesn't care about Kelly either. Looking back now, I realize that Kelly and I are indeed from two different worlds. I really can't understand why I loved her so madly in the past few years and was willing to change my principles again and again. Even Gavin, I always tolerated him around Kelly. But my deep affection did not bring any good results, and in the end Kelly threw my affection to waste. The time for the anniversary party soon arrived, and I asked my assistant to airlift an exclusive haute couture dress designed by a French designer for Linda. At the party, I walked slowly into the venue holding Linda's hand, and all eyes were on us. Kelly was also among them, but her gaze didn't seem so friendly. Because it is an anniversary celebration, some press conferences and other processes are inevitable. The dinner officially began after I finished my speech. The lights gradually dimmed and the music started. I walked towards Linda with a smile on my face and invited her politely, "My beautiful lady, can I ask you to dance with me?" Linda nodded shyly and put her hand up. Under the spotlight, Linda and I looked like two shining stars, and our graceful dancing was so attractive that people couldn't take their eyes off us. When the dance ended, everyone applauded. But the next second Kelly came to me and Linda angrily and slapped Linda without saying a word. "Don't you know he has a fiancé?" After all, Linda is a lady from a wealthy family. She wouldn't throw a tantrum in public like Kelly did, but she just looked unhappy. I quickly protected Linda and said to Kelly, "Miss Kelly, what is wrong with you?" Kelly's eyes suddenly turned red, and her voice trembled. "Miss Kelly? You called me Miss Kelly? Andy, just because I said I would take care of Gavin, you found another woman to embarrass me in public? Have you ever considered me? Everyone knows that I am your fiancé, but you brought another woman with you. Where do you put me?" Kelly's voice was so loud that many people at the banquet looked at us, as if they were all waiting to see what was happening. "Kelly, I'm done with you. I am single, and it is my freedom to bring whoever I want as a female companion. Besides, didn't you bring a male companion as well?" As soon as I said this, everyone followed my gaze and looked at Gavin sitting in the wheelchair. Gavin already had low self-esteem, and now he appeared in front of everyone in this situation. For a moment, he didn't even dare to raise his head. I could hear people whispering, "Is this the man who stole Andy's boss fiancé? I don't think he's that good. Yeah, I thought he was so handsome, but he's actually a cripple." Gavin's hands were clenched into fists, his nails digging deep into the flesh. He turned his wheelchair and came to Kelly, pulling the corner of Kelly's clothes. "Kelly, don't argue with Boss Andy for me." "Boss Andy, I was wrong, please don't embarrass Kelly." "Kelly, let's go, I feel sick." Hearing Gavin say that he was upset, Kelly's expression changed immediately, and her eyes became much gentler. "Okay, I'll take you away, you saved me, it's only natural for me to take care of you. I won't be like some people who only see benefits and no other friendship." Even at this point, Kelly was still trying to goad me with words. But she doesn't know that I have replaced her as the heroine. Kelly left with Gavin, and my face darkened. It's not because I'm mad at Kelly, but it's a shame that a good dinner was ruined. Linda noticed what I was thinking and offered me a glass of red wine. "Would you like a drink?" I took the red wine and drank it all. Only now did I understand what my parents had said to me before: "You are the heir of the Andy family. A woman who can stand on the same level as you is not an ordinary person. That Kelly is not suitable for you." It's true that Kelly and I are not a good match. After the dinner incident, Linda and I's presence at the event made headlines. The news is everywhere. #Andy Family Group's president is suspected of having a new relationship #. My assistant called me last night and asked if I needed to stop the media reporting. I refused directly. It's not something shameful, so why should I stop it? As soon as the message was sent, my phone was almost blown up by calls from Kelly's father. Even though he couldn't get through to me on the phone, he still came directly to the company to find me. Without any attempt by the assistant to stop him, he rushed straight into my office. "My dear son-in-law, the news outside is not true, right? Aren't you and Kelly getting married soon?" I pinched my eyebrows and felt a headache looking at him. I just wanted to let this matter go and not talk about it again, but Kelly's father kept pestering me. "Good son-in-law," Kelly was just confused for a moment. "Give her another chance. She knows she was wrong." Seeing that I still didn't respond, Kelly's father shouted directly to the door, "Come in quickly and admit your mistake." The door was pushed open and Kelly walked in timidly with her head lowered. One trouble was enough to give me a headache, and now there's another one. Kelly walked over to me cautiously and poured me a glass of water. "Andy, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have embarrassed you in front of so many people last night. What on earth do you want to do?" I asked the father and daughter directly in an unpleasant manner. Kelly's father kept winking at Kelly, and Kelly suppressed her temper and continued, "Andy, I know I was wrong, don't be angry. Let's go try on wedding dresses this afternoon, okay?" I rubbed my brows, raised my head and looked at Kelly calmly. "Ms. Kelly, I have made it very clear when I was in the villa. Please don't bother me with your father anymore. The company is not a market." Kelly couldn't sit still anymore and started crying immediately. "Andy, don't you love me anymore? You said you would always take care of me and cherish me, why have you changed now?" Seeing that I was still indifferent, she wiped away her tears and said, "Andy, do you think you can't live without you? I tell you, I have the final say on how the storyline will develop. Just wait for your wife to be buried in the crematorium." After saying that, she ignored Kelly's father's obstruction and pulled him out of my office. The system's voice rang in my mind again. System reminder: the former heroine is trying to modify the storyline and save the relationship. Please determine the new heroine as soon as possible. Over the next few days, Kelly seemed to have completely disappeared from my life. She directly blocked all my contact information, including Kelly's father, and he no longer came to contact me. I guess she thought I would lose control and go find her. After all, that's how all novels develop. The male and female protagonists have to go through 81 difficulties before they can achieve their happy ending, and no matter how the female protagonist commits suicide, the male protagonist still loves her as always. But novels are novels, not everyone is the same. At least this isn't the case with us, and I have no intention of trying to win Kelly back. Because I already have a new heroine target, Linda. Why wouldn't I choose a woman who grew up with me, has a similar family background and shares similar interests? I took out my phone and called Linda. The call was connected shortly after. Hello? Brother Andy, what's up so late? Linda, I can't sleep, shall we go fishing for pipe? Okay, I'll clean it up right away. Under the bright moonlight, I took Linda out to sea on the yacht to fish for smallmouth bass. The sea breeze was blowing, and I was lost in thought as I stared at Linda's profile. I asked, Linda, will you be my girlfriend? What? Linda turned around in surprise. Brother Andy, what did you say? I repeated it word for word. Linda, will you be my girlfriend? I thought Linda would consider it, but I didn't expect her to agree directly. Brother Andy, do you know how long I have been waiting for you to say this? I fell in love with you from the first time I saw you, but you were so cold at that time, like a mountain, and I didn't dare to get close to you at all. Later, my parents took me abroad, and I made up my mind to work hard just to be worthy of you in the future. Later I heard that you had a girlfriend, and I was sad for a long time. Listening to Linda's voice, I was filled with emotion. The next moment I held Linda in my arms, and from now on, you are my mistress. The system prompt sounded, ding, congratulations to the host for successfully changing the heroine. The new heroine is Linda. I thought that after the female lead was changed, Kelly and I would no longer have a relationship. But the next day Gavin came to see me despite being sick. I didn't want to see him at first, but it was almost 40 degrees outside and he insisted on sitting in his wheelchair and waiting for me. I'm really afraid that he will faint from exhaustion, and if something happens then it will have a bad impact on the company. In desperation, I asked my assistant to invite him to the office. Gavin looked really weak, his face was pale and even his lips were bloodless. Since you are sick, you should rest at home. Gavin stared at me, uncharacteristically, with bloodshot eyes. He clenched his fists and asked me, why won't you let Kelly go? Why were you born to be the male lead, while I, who love Kelly so much, am just a supporting role? Why? Faced with his questioning, I just felt a little confused. I haven't contacted Kelly for a long time recently. But after hearing what Gavin said, I still felt a little unhappy. Gavin, I'm not Kelly, you don't have to use your affection on me. Put away your hypocrisy, and don't think I don't know your dirty thoughts. My directness made Gavin feel guilty all of a sudden, but he still managed to speak. I know I can't compare to you in anything. I'm not as rich as you, nor as handsome as you, but I love Kelly more than you do. I'm the only one in the world who loves her the most. Hee hee. I finally couldn't help laughing out loud. Love her? So they forced her to get a kidney? Kelly clearly didn't need a kidney transplant, but he made this decision on his own. You just want to tie Kelly down by using a kidney transplant. What are you talking about, love or not? If you hadn't forced her to have a kidney transplant, she might not have to take medicine every day. You're talking nonsense, it's not like that. It's not like this, what is it? Do we need to weave any lies or excuses between you and me? I exposed Gavin mercilessly, and Gavin didn't respond for a long time. Finally, he left in a wheelchair, but before leaving, he reluctantly said to me, go see Kelly when you have time. She's not doing well lately. I knew something must have happened to Kelly, otherwise Gavin wouldn't have come to me alone. But all this was her own choice. She gave up being the heroine in a sweet and cute novel and insisted on turning herself into a miserable little lotus. Who can she blame? After Linda and I confirmed our relationship, both families were very happy. After all, they had been planning to bring us together for a long time. Linda is really nice. Even though she knows about my past and Kelly's affairs, she never mentions it. Some things are better left to be known in the heart, it would be indecent to talk about them openly. And now I really love Linda. After the heroine was confirmed, I was even more attracted to her. I officially announced my relationship with Linda on all social media platforms and said that the wedding would take place in 2 months. The wedding time did not change, only the bride changed. Kelly, who I hadn't contacted for a long time, suddenly appeared downstairs of my house, looking much more haggard. He was still holding a half-finished bottle of red wine in his hand, and when he saw me come back, he staggered towards me. She blushed again, just like the first time she saw me. "Andy, I miss you so much, can we make up?" With that, Kelly threw herself into my arms and hugged me tightly. I reached out to push her away, but she just held on tight. "Kelly, we're done, what's the point of you talking about this again?" Kelly sobbed wildly, shaking her head. "No, there's no way we're going to end this. I am your heroine, we should get married and have 2 babies, Andy, let's get married, okay?" I pushed her away impatiently and dusted off my clothes. I have always been a germaphobe. I used to love Kelly, so I could accept her being in close contact with me. But now the person I love is Linda, and I feel uncomfortable whenever Kelly touches me. Kelly cried even louder when she saw how distant I was. She even knelt down in front of me and said, "Andy, I was just angry before. You are the one I love. Please, don't leave me. Kelly, you chose your own path, it's not like I didn't give you a chance. And you clearly knew the reason for the kidney transplant, but you still left me for him, so we don't owe each other anything." After saying that, I walked into the house without looking back. Kelly was still knocking on the door outside. At home, Linda had already prepared dinner. She glanced at me and we both understood each other. There's no need to hurt feelings for someone who has nothing to do with it, so we didn't mention what happened just now. In order to avoid Kelly from disturbing our lives again, Linda and I moved back to the old house. Preparations for the wedding are also going on in full swing, and we have an appointment to try on wedding dresses in the afternoon. Because time was tight, I went directly to the bridal shop from the company, but when the agreed time came, Linda was nowhere to be seen. I quickly took out my phone and called her, but after several calls, Linda didn't answer. I called the old house again, and they said Linda had left a long time ago. Logically speaking, Linda went out earlier than me, so she should have arrived earlier. I suddenly realized that something was wrong and something might have happened to Linda. Sure enough, Gavin called me the next second, and his tone was very anxious. "Boss Andy, please save Kelly, Kelly has been kidnapped." As I was speaking, a photo appeared on my phone. In the photo, Kelly and Linda were tied up at the same time. The kidnappers left me a message asking me to go to the dock alone, and if I dared to call the police, they would kill me immediately. For Linda's safety, I didn't care about anything else and hurried to the dock. Once we got to the dock, I saw Kelly and Linda tied to the bow of a boat. Kelly was so excited the moment she saw me. "Andy, I knew you would come to save me. You still can't leave me, right?" I ignored Kelly and looked at Linda beside me. "Linda, are you okay?" Linda gave me a gentle look. "I'm fine." I finally felt relieved, as long as Linda was okay. Just as I was about to step forward and untie Linda, a few masked men suddenly jumped out from the side. "Boss Andy, long time no see." I looked at a few people and asked, "Who are you and what do you want to do?" The kidnappers looked at each other, and the leader laughed. "Of course we are the enemies of Boss Andy. Of these 2 beauties, one is Andy's sweetheart, and the other is Andy's sweetheart. I want to know which one Andy should choose. Don't mess around. Come to me if you have any problems. Let them go. Although I no longer love Kelly, I don't want Kelly to be hurt because of me, because I don't want to have any connection or entanglement with her anymore." Seeing that I was slow to speak, the kidnapper leader turned around and went to the bow to loosen the rope around Kelly. Kelly suddenly cried out, "I don't want to die, Andy, save me, save me." "Have you thought about it? Boss Andy, which beauty do you want to save?" As soon as the kidnapper finished speaking, Kelly couldn't wait to speak again. "Andy, save me, have you forgotten that I saved you once before?" Looking at my beloved Linda, I didn't hesitate at all. "I choose Kelly." Kelly was so excited when she heard that I chose her that she choked up and said, "Brother Andy, I knew you would choose me. You still love me." Hearing such a noisy voice, I frowned and explained coldly, "I choose Kelly to die." "Andy? Are you crazy? I'm your savior, and you choose me to die?" Facing Kelly shouting, my impatience reached its peak. Kelly, I have already investigated the matter of saving my life. The reason why I haven't exposed you is just because I am too lazy to get entangled with you. When Kelly heard that I knew the truth, she went crazy and said it was impossible. Linda's expression changed, and she wanted to open her mouth but said nothing. I know that a tutor like Linda would not allow her to sacrifice other people's lives for her own survival, but I love her, and as her man I should protect her. I've made my choice, you guys should release Linda right away. I urged the kidnapper. Unexpectedly, the kidnappers did not follow the rules and actually loosened the ropes of the two people. Kelly and Linda were now less than 30 centimeters from the surface of the sea. I rushed forward regardless of the weapons in the hands of those people. Even if I couldn't save Linda, I would die with her. Kelly smiled bitterly when she saw how crazy I was. The next second I thought the kidnapper would take action, but unexpectedly he pulled both of them up. Kelly looked at me in disbelief. Andy, you actually gave up on me for Linda? I am your mistress. Kelly, you have to understand one thing. Only the one I love is the heroine. If I don't love you, how can you be considered a heroine? When I said this, the system's voice in my mind sounded again. Congratulations to the host and the heroine for reaching a relationship that is stronger than gold. Kelly suddenly burst out laughing. It turned out that she had directed and acted in all of this herself. The purpose was to see who I would choose. She never expected that I would choose Linda. She took out a short knife from her bosom and put it against Linda's waist. She grabbed Linda's neck with her other hand and said, Andy, you are so cruel. Why can you men fall in love with every woman you meet? I just want to have my cake and eat it too. Am I wrong? Kelly, don't be impulsive. Let's talk about it. Let Linda go. I tried to comfort her. Kelly was completely crazy at this point and wouldn't listen to me. Andy, I was with you first, and I'm the only real heroine. The storyline is messed up. I have tried my best to revise it. Why don't you give me a chance? As Kelly was talking, Gavin arrived in a wheelchair with the police. Gavin was not aware of this and he only wanted to save Kelly. When Gavin saw that Kelly was fine and had held Linda hostage, his face turned pale. Kelly, come down quickly, don't do anything stupid. Kelly looked at Gavin in the wheelchair with a cold face and said with a wry smile, Gavin, I'm sorry. I thought what happened between you and me was love, but now I realize that I only regard you as a brother. Nothing is more murderous than this. He gave you his kidney, and now you say you treat him as your brother? Gavin's face turned even paler with anger, but he still kept trying to persuade Kelly. The police took advantage of Kelly's distraction and attacked from behind, successfully subdued Kelly and rescued Linda. I immediately rushed over and hugged Linda. After experiencing life and death, I realized how precious love is. In the end, Kelly was taken away by the police, and the people they hired to help her had already disappeared. Afterwards, Linda told me a story. I secretly returned to China during the summer vacation that year. I saw you were hit by a car and dying, so I took you to the hospital. But my face was covered with acne at that time, and I didn't dare to meet you at all, so I left before you woke up. I touched Linda's head and acted surprised, but in fact I had already investigated this matter clearly. I don't want Linda to think that I chose her to repay her for saving my life. I chose her because I love her, without any mixed feelings of self-interest. Kelly was in jail for kidnapping. Gavin came to me every day and said, Boss Andy, please save Kelly for the sake of our past friendship. Kelly saved me before, so I won't be too drastic even if we break up. If it weren't for my help over the years, their company would have gone bankrupt several times. Even though she accompanied me through the low points of my life at that time, I have now paid back all my debts. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Since you want to choose your childhood sweetheart, you are destined not to be my heroine. A month later, Linda and I had our wedding successfully. The fireworks at the wedding lasted for 3 days, and everyone in Yunqing knew that I married Linda. Now Linda has finally become a real heroine and lives an enviable life. As for Kelly, the system said that she had seriously deviated from the storyline and was about to be erased. When I love you, you are the heroine of the story. When I no longer love you, you are nothing. In the days to come, Linda and I will have a few children and continue to live happily.